Let's bring in our Oscars panel to weigh in on this. In Toronto, Matt Borelli is standing by, and in Montreal, Andrea Collins is standing by. Good to have you both on. And first of all, Matt, what did you think of the Oscars? The good, the bad, the ugly?
Yeah, you know, it was long, but that's expected for an Oscars show. I really wanted Neil Patrick Harris to do a phenomenal job, but I got to say he was a little underwhelming. Not all his jokes went over that well. He's great for the Emmys, great for the Tonys, but, you know, I think he didn't do justice for the Oscars. But I still like him. Yeah, this is the first time that all 8 Best Picture nominees walked away with a award at least, so that's fantastic. But I think everyone that was up for award that we expected to win an award walked away with an award. So I'm not really surprised on anything. There weren't really any snubs, unless you want to include Joan Rivers on the in memoriam section that was missed out. But other than that, it was great.
What do you think, Andrea? What was your take on it?
Well, I feel bad for the people that PVR'd it thinking it would end at 11:30 because I think it went till midnight. But I don't know why they don't just make it shorter. I think the ratings would go up if it was a solid 2 hours. But I guess they want to please everyone. I thought it was good. I thought, yeah, everyone won a little bit. So no one was overly upset. There were snubs. Boyhood didn't get what they wanted, Selma as well. But all in all, I'd say it was a pretty fair balance of winners for the night.
Andrea, what did you think of Neil Patrick Harris at one point coming out in underwear?
I was thinking that he must have been really watching the carbs for a couple days before that, because that's got to be a pretty nerve-wracking experience, but that was cute. I think that was one of my favorite funny moments of his of the night.
All right, let's talk about those who won now. Birdman, and there are those who say, you know, and I'm looking at these ratings for the show, some people are saying, you know, again, they're nominating all these art house movies that people don't go see, Grand Budapest Hotel and Birdman and even Boyhood. Matt, is that fair or unfair? I mean, should we be looking at more populist movies?
Well, it's hard to say. You know, we all have our taste of a movie, and, you know, maybe this year's movies weren't everyone's taste. You know, Birdman was an obscure movie. Grand Budapest Hotel was a weird movie. But they were really good in their own right. Both of those movies took home 4 awards, so I think they were the biggest winners of the night. But yeah, I don't know. It's so hard because they were all over the map, these movies this year.
Andrew, what about this whole Oscars so white, this sort of meme that began a couple of months back when there was this perception that Selma had been snubbed by the Academy? Neil Patrick Harris actually mentioned it. He sort of made a joke about it. And then there were a lot of African-American presenters up on stage, too. And I saw some people tweeting about how this was, you know, the Academy trying to make up for that.
Yeah, I had seen the same thing. There were a lot of African-American presenters. We saw a lot of shots of, let's say, Oprah in the crowd a lot. So I do think that they were trying to make an effort to balance it out in that way and avoid conflict. But really, when it came down to performances, I thought that Glory stole the show in every right. It had everyone on their feet, everyone in tears with that performance from John Legend and Common. So either way, I think the Black community was well represented and should be very proud of their representation at the Oscars last night, even if Selma didn't walk away with the nominations or awards that it wanted.
Okay, what about Patricia Arquette now, winning Best Supporting Actress for Boyhood, Matt? And she sent out a message here about equal rights for women in the U.S.
Yeah, you know, she kind of got it in right there at the end, and obviously had women in the audience like Meryl Streep and J-Lo on their feet and really praising her for that. It's an issue that, you know, really shouldn't be an issue. These women should be making just as much money, in my opinion. They work as hard. We're all human beings. It's not a male-female thing in my eyes. But I think she really used her platform and shared her voice.
Andrea, your take on what Patricia Arquette said?
Well, last year, the top 10 earning male actors had about, in total, $419 million, whereas women in those lead roles as well, in total, made $219 million. So there is a big difference in Hollywood. And when it comes to equality with wage in America, there's still a big difference. Women make 77 cents compared to on the dollar compared to men. So there still is that big difference in America. And I think that it's amazing she brought it to attention. And last night was great for that. I feel like everyone that went up on stage and accepted something had a cause. So now it's just a matter, people hear They're role models talking about these things. Now it's a matter of people going out and doing something about it.
All right, this year, as we wrap up here, I want to mention this because we can't leave without talking about Lady Gaga's performance. This year is the 50th anniversary of The Sound of Music, and I was blown away by this performance. I mean, I know she can sing. You know, she's a big piano player, of course, but seeing her do this tribute, this sort of medley of some of the top songs from The Sound of Music was really quite something. Matt, your take?
Yeah, I think at first we were all like, oh my gosh, what is Lady Gaga going to do? But you know what? She impressed. And you're right, we do know that she can sing. She's so versatile. You know, she's gone from like this weird, obscure pop artist to this jazz. She's just phenomenal. She looked great. The song, the tribute was great, and Julie Andrews loved it, which I think made us even feel even better about it. So I think she should continue doing what she's doing. It's obviously working for her. Her last album didn't do the greatest. She's obviously had to make a new transition to re-evolve herself. But I'm a Lady Gaga fan.
It's always great when they pay tribute to the classics as well. Thanks for this to both of you, Andrea and Matt. Great to have you on the program. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Todd.
Thanks.